If you're like me and you create loops on YouTube, this video is for you. The main reason why I started creating loops anyways is for my children. Well, really my son was the one that started it, but I digress. My son loves listening to Bob Marley. Back to back to back to back to back. And he was having a lot of difficulty going to sleep. But whenever I would play that Bob Marley back to back, man, he will be out like a light. And I kept on going because I felt like other people needed loops too. I feel like when you are a YouTuber, your main purpose should be servicing people. Give the people what they want. People want to hear the same music over and over and over again that they love. It's basic psychology. And I'm not gonna lie, I had to stop making loops for a while simply because, for one, it doesn't really make me any money, and also I was starting to get burnout really bad. Now, I feel like if I would have kept going, I would probably have at least 20,000 subscribers right now, which would be cool, but that's not necessarily my goal, really. Well, you know what? I take that back. I do want to gain more subscribers I want to get more subscribers by making things that people love to view or listen to. It's just hard whenever you see your video get over 100K views and then you're not getting paid for it. But again, I didn't necessarily do it with getting paid in mind, simply because I wanted to give something to the people and I wanted to help my son. That was really it. And I thought that I really I thought that I carved out a niche for myself. Like, okay, this is my thing. This is what I do. This is cool. And then I stopped and it's like, all right, cool. And now I tried to get back into it again and it's not working like it used to. So I stopped again. You know, time passed and time passed and time passed. And what do I see on Apple Music? Apple Music now has it to where you can loop your favorite song over and over and over again. And I was like, ooh, dang, that is a sick feature. But ooh, what about everybody who creates loops on YouTube? Now, currently, it is a very new feature on Apple Music, but it is pretty sharp. I was listening to Kehlani's song Folded and I had the mix going on, and the mix, playing that one song in a loop was almost perfect. Now, AI can only do so much, to be honest. But in the future, I can see one thing in particular happening. What Apple Music may start doing, instead of relying solely on AI, because I know using AI costs a lot of money, they may give artists the ability to pinpoint where the loop starts and where the loop ends. Once Apple decides to do that, the loop community on YouTube, we're all going to suffer from that, for sure. Now, the artists and the labels and stuff, they're going to be able to make more money, which they should, because, this is their product. This is their business. But all of us that kind of really care about music and looping and making it sound good, I know I do. I make sure I take my time whenever I make a loop. I make sure that it is precise and it is seamless to give people an experience that they can't get really anywhere else but on my channel. So I will tell this to all you people who are doing loops of other people's music on YouTube. You better tighten up on your loops. A lot of you guys are looping very lazily and it sounds like trash. Just care a little bit more about the loop. Care about how the song is going to sound for an hour, for 8 hours, 10 hours, whenever someone goes to your channel. Me, I personally do not like whenever I hear someone's hour loop and there's a lot of dead space in between, and it's just like, what's the point of this loop? It seems like you are just hungry for watch time. Okay, cool, that makes sense. But what about the listening experience for the people that are tuned in? Now, I do say this. When it comes to the labels and the copyrights and then monetizing and stuff like that, you know, the labels and all that, they do ruin the experience of like the hour loop simply because it's going to cut in between where it's a time where it's really messed up, or you know, your child is asleep or something, and next thing you know, a freaking commercial about freaking Icy Hot comes on or something, and that just ruins the experience. Now, this is why I believe Apple has stepped in, because it's like, oh, you know what? People are not necessarily paying for YouTube. People are paying for YouTube, trust me, but not as much as people are paying for Apple Music. So Apple Music, they were like, okay, let's go ahead and you know, get into this lane. Let's see how this mixing feature will go across with your everyday listener. I think they have paid attention to YouTube, and they've seen how people are passively listening to these hour loops. And I do not believe that they're going to give artists the ability to go ahead and customize where the mix ends and where the mix begins. They're just going to let AI do it, because I guess it may be less maintenance, which I still feel is kind of like lazy. If you're going to do it, let artists be able to pinpoint where the mix starts and where the mix ends to curate a better experience for the listener. Now I'm going to end it on this note. If you are creating hour loops, hour mixes of songs that don't belong to you, you need to tighten up on your technique. Tighten up on it now, or else Apple is going to get their AI to sharpen up and be able to pinpoint where, like, they're going to be able to pinpoint where the mix ends and where the, you know, mix begins. And all of us are going to be out, I ain't gonna say out of a job, you know what I mean? But Apple will corner the market, rendering the loops on YouTube worthless. So tighten up. But I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, the person that is creating the mixes, creating loops. Actually, yeah, even people that create different playlists and different loops and DJing on YouTube. What do you think about this new feature with Apple? I'm pretty sure Spotify has it too. But what has this done to your reach? What has this done to your watch time over the past couple of months? Let me know in the comments section. And if you want to be a part of this conversation even more, let me know in the comment section, and also subscribe to my channel. All right? It was good talking to y'all. I hope to see y'all in the comment section. You have a good rest of your day. Peace.